We've had a bit of a situation with the Kia Ceed, and it's not a mechanical one, it's a person one. Right, so as you saw in previous videos, I had a subscriber that was interested in the vehicle, and he said when it was ready, give him a message, and I said I'd agree to give him first refusal. No problem at all with that. But then a local chap came by wanting the car, and I said that it was not available. The chap had first refusal and he'd be letting me know. So the guy was a bit huffy about it, a little bit like huffy about it, saying, I'm here now, I'm here ready to do business. You know, why not sell it to me? I said, look, I told the guy first refusal, I give him first refusal, that's the way it is, but as soon as I know from him, I'll let you know. Anyway, he turned up later on that day. This was Saturday. He turned up later on Saturday to ask me again, had I heard from the chap? And I said no, but I was going to give him till Monday to come back to me on it. And he said, oh, I can't be coming back and forth. I said, well, you know, with all due respect, I didn't ask you to come back again. You did that off your own back. I'd already told you the score on it. I'd taken your telephone number down and said I would ring you as soon as I knew what was going on. So come Monday morning, which it is, I've come in for the morning. I've spoken to the subscriber on the phone. We've had a really good chat, and with the cost of getting the vehicle down to him, it's just not going to really financially stack up for him, and he can't really get up here for a while. And obviously, we've not been knowing whether he can get up here a while. He said, "Look, I'll free it up if you've got somebody else interested." And I said, "No problem at all. That's no issue at all." So I've got a telephone number for this other local chap. So I give him a ring, and it goes straight to voicemail. So on the voicemail I say, hi, car is now available. The chap's let me know that he's not going to be going ahead, so you can come and have a look at it. 3 or 4 hours pass, haven't had a phone call back from this chap yet. Now bear in mind, I haven't told him the same as I told my subscriber, that he's got first refusal. I just said I'd let him know as soon as the other chap knew what he was doing. Now this chap, to also add to the story you need to know, he's getting the car for his wife. This local chap is getting the car for his wife, and he's got a Ford Focus to part exchange in. Now, he hasn't actually got the Ford Focus with him on either of the visits he did, so I haven't been able to appraise it. So I can't really say whether I'm going to be able to do the deal for him or not. And he also hasn't brought his wife along, who needs to try the vehicle to make sure that she's happy with it. So as far as I'm concerned, it's quite a loose sale, because the wife can come along and say, I really don't like it. As we know as well with this one, it's got the low biting point. She could come along and say, actually, I really don't like the car. Or I could say to him, well, look, now your Focus is here, it's a bit ropey, I can only offer you X amount for the Focus. So there's no real guarantees of the deal going ahead anyway. So I leave him this message and tell him that the car is now back on the market, it's available if he wants to come and see it. So anyway, in the meantime, a couple of hours have passed by, and this chap hasn't rung me back. And another couple turn up who have been a recommendation from someone to come and see me. They wanted to have a look at the silver Ibiza that went, or the Toyota Yaris that went. So again, both those gone. I didn't undersell those guys. They were at the Auto Trader recommended price. I mean, albeit they were good price, not just fair price. But I didn't undercharge on those cars. So I'm not quite sure why it's gone so crazy. I think it's just shortage of cars. So they came to see either of those, and they hadn't rang in advance for me to let them know they weren't here, and they were swinging by anyway, so they thought they'd come by and see what I had. So I did them a little bit of a walk up down the line, up outside. You'll notice that the Alpha is now clean outside. I did them a bit of a walk up down the line up outside, and they were attracted to the Ceed, which is understandable. It's a really nice looking car. Anyway, so they have a look at it and said, can we take it for a spin? I said, no problem at all. So we hopped in and did a test drive in it. And they liked the car quite a bit, enjoyed the drive, and asked her, if they could go to one side and have a little chat, which people normally do. So we parked the car up. In the meantime, this chap's turned up, the local chap, seen me in the Ceed with this couple. I come into the unit here. He comes storming into the unit and says, what's happening with that? I've had no phone call. He says, and you're showing somebody else it. He said, I've been here 3 times. This is my 4th visit now, he says. And you're showing somebody else around it. It's not on. Really, really stroppy, this chap does. And I said to him, sorry, but I did leave you a voicemail early this morning. And he said, oh, I want to see the telephone number. I want to see the telephone number. I said, well, Okay, so I showed him the telephone number I had for him, which he confirmed with his, and I showed him on my phone that I'd given him a call a few hours earlier. So, and it went straight to voicemail. I said, so you've clearly been out of signal and not picked up your voicemails. He said, oh, well, I said I was interested. I know you got somebody else showing. I said, well, look, again, all due respect, I'm a car dealer. I'm here to sell cars. That's my job. And I've got somebody interested in the car who's come to have a look at it. And I've got no agreement with you that you've got first refusal with it. You haven't put a deposit down on it. So fair's fair. I said, but I did leave you the voicemail. He said, oh, I can't believe I'm going to miss out on it again. I said, well, bear with. I said, I don't know this couple are actually going to go ahead with it. So I said, give me a few minutes. Oh, I'll go away and come back. I said, well, don't go away and come back again, because then we're up in the same situation. Someone else could turn up in between. I said, hang fire for 2 minutes and I will go and have a word with them. Well, he burns off down here, spins round again, sits there with his engine running while I'm talking to the two people. And they explained to me that they're not 100%, they like the car, they really quite like it, but they want to go away and decide whether they're going to get finance or whether they're going to fund it themselves or not. I said, look, I need to make you aware, this chap over here that's waiting really wants the car. I said, and he has been around a couple of times. I said, I don't know 100% he's going to go for it because his wife still needs to come and test drive the vehicle and we still need to agree a deal on this part exchange. I said, so look, just go away, have a think about it, give me a bell as soon as you know what the score is. I said, and we'll take it from there. So they drive off. I go back up to chap and say, look, the couple aren't committed to going ahead with it. I said, so I'm absolutely fine for you to take it for a longer test drive now, because he only went around the car park earlier, and make sure you're 100% with it, and then you can get your wife up to give it a try. He said, well, he said, okay. He said, I'll take it out now. So he's taken it out on me for a test drive, had a good test drive. He's happy with it. Bring it back. He wants to know about the part exchange on his Focus. So I look it up and he says, I know what they're selling for. I see the money they're going for. I said, but you realise that I'm a dealer and I can't pay you what they're selling for because I then need to sell it on and make a profit on it. So I bought it up on We Buy Any Car. I think it's a 2009 diesel Ford Focus with 140,000 miles on it. And it comes back as being worth £550 or something like that, which I know the Focuses go for fairly good money. So that seems like a reasonable part exchange price. I said, it's got MOT, it's got brand new MOT in it. So I look at the MOT and it's come with a long list of things that need doing. Nothing serious, don't get me wrong, nothing that worries me. Standard things for corrosion on parts that aren't serious, surface rust corrosion, a bit of a weep from the engine that isn't hitting the ground, so it's past the MOT for that. It's got a weep from the radiator, but he had already told me the radiator cap had failed, so I know what that was. Nothing outrageous, nothing horrendous. He said, well, you can sell that for us. I said, look, I said, I have to do all those advisories before I could resell the car. So this is going to go to another trader, as is, at exactly what I give you for it. So I can't give you another penny more for it than that, which he seems to accept. So then he goes, well, actually, I do need my wife to try the car. I said, well, that's what I've been saying all along. You need your wife to try the car to see if you're all upset about potentially missing out on it, but your wife might actually hate it. So anyway, the score is that they're coming back, and I've agreed with him to give him till the end of play today to make his decision on the car. But then it's free reign again for anyone else. And I've also bought it and given it a clean so that when his wife comes to see it, it isn't filthy, because it's now been out on 2 test drives in the morning. I need to get in and give it a good hoover out. But it did crack me up. He did actually, in all fairness to him, apologise as he left for having a bit of a go. And I kind of understand a bit, because he thinks I didn't ring him, but I did, and I left him that voicemail. But as I said, we didn't have an agreement had first refusal with a subscriber. We had a set agreement, first refusal, and I'll always honour an agreement like that. If I'd had that with this chap, I'd have done the same thing. If I said, you've got guaranteed second place, which, believe it or not, I've done that second and third place on some vehicles before, believe it or not. It's been that busy. I'd have stood by it as well, but we had no agreement at all. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a weak sale. It's what you used to call in the business a one-legged sale, because the wife isn't here yet and we don't know if she's even going to like it. She might well get in it, like I say, and find that clutch bite point just isn't good enough for her. But I shall update you in a later video, or potentially the end of this one, depending on whether I get this out before. But so the chap has been back again with his wife this time, who's been out for 2 test drives in it. One on a nice run out on the main roads, and then she took it into town. And my suggestion to make sure that she was really happy with that clutch and she said, came back and said she didn't really know what we were on about. She found it fine, so she's a happy bunny. So he bought it. So in the end, all was good. The gentleman bought the car. He's going to be part exchanging his Ford Focus, which he brought along, which is actually quite a tidy little car actually. And all's good at its end. And yeah, I've just got to give it a valet now and do the service, and then he can pick it up. So as always, you know, he was actually a really nice chap. Just got a bit frustrated that he'd popped out a number of times and wasn't able to get the car he wanted to get, and thought that I'd kind of gazumped him with somebody else. But yeah, we're all good in the end.